Barack Obama just torched Donald Trump, not once, but twice. First on stage, then again in a scathing new post that made Trump look like a wannabe strongman fumbling with his own rulebook. It wasn't polite, it wasn't subtle, it was a reckless political takedown, and Trump was not ready for it. Because when Obama shows up like this, somebody's getting cooked, and it all started with this brutal comparison, one that exposes just how far Trump has taken this country off the rails.
Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me just, I just want to be clear about this. Imagine that imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening. Imagine if I'd said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, that you will not be allowed into government buildings. We will punish you economically for dissenting from the Affordable Care Act or the Iran deal. We will ferret out students who protest against my policies. It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me, or a whole bunch of my predecessors. So, and I say this not on a partisan basis. This has to do with something more precious, which is, who are we as a country, and what values do we stand for?
Let's just take a moment to appreciate what Obama did here. He didn't just criticize Trump, he exposed him. No yelling, no name calling, just calmly listing out every authoritarian red flag Trump has waved like it's part of the national anthem. And he's right. If Obama had dared to pull even one of these stunts, the GOP would have summoned a SWAT team, Fox News would have held a 72-hour rage marathon, and Mitch McConnell would have written 19 angry op-eds by candlelight. But Trump bans critics, punishes law firms, bullies protesters, and somehow the patriots have nothing to say. They'd rather chant freedom while watching democracy get body checked into the parking lot. Obama's not playing games anymore. He's calling out the entire MAGA circus. And he's not done yet, because in just a moment, he drops a line that makes Trump look smaller than his inauguration crowd. Let's roll it.
Obama breaks cover with message about immigrants as Trump demands more ICE raids. Former President Barack Obama urged Americans to reject the framing of immigrants as enemies as Donald Trump demanded supercharged ICE raids in an unhinged Truth Social rant. Over the past week, protests have surged across the U.S. in response to aggressive operations by immigration and customs enforcement officers. The backlash began in Los Angeles, where federal workplace raids ignited public fury. It was a tale of two social media posts on Sunday as Obama calmly appealed for dignity and respect to prevail before Trump spewed out a trademark rant over on Truth Social just hours later. The former president, who served 2 consecutive terms, referenced his deferred action for childhood arrivals policy, which allowed immigrants who came to the U.S. as children to request official documentation. 13 years ago, my administration acted to protect young people who were in America every single way but one, on paper. DACA was an example of how we can be a nation of immigrants and a nation of laws. And it's an example worth remembering today when families with similar backgrounds who just want to live, work, and support their communities are being demonized and treated as enemies. He continued, "We can fix our broken immigration system while still recognizing our common humanity and treating each other with dignity and respect. In fact, it's the only way we ever will.
While Trump was busy rage posting in all caps about ICE raids like a keyboard warrior with a grudge, Obama stepped in with something completely foreign to MAGA land: basic human decency. In a single post, Obama reminded the country that immigrants aren't enemies, they're people. People with jobs, families, and dreams, not props in Trump's fear-mongering soap opera. And the contrast couldn't be clearer. Obama gives calm leadership and compassion. Trump gives paranoia, threats, and enough grammatical errors to trigger Microsoft Word. This wasn't just a policy difference. It was a masterclass in what actual leadership used to look like. And Trump? Oh, get ready, because what he posted is just humiliating for himself.
The script was flipped, though, on Trump's very own social media website, where the president encouraged ICE agents to do all in their power to achieve the very important goal of delivering the single largest mass deportation program in history. We see some of that insane post here with Trump writing, "Our nation's ICE officers have shown incredible strength, determination, and courage as they facilitate a very important mission, the largest mass deportation operation of illegal aliens in history. Every day, the brave men and women of ICE are subjected to violence, harassment, and even threats from radical Democrat politicians, but nothing will stop us from executing our mission and fulfilling our mandate to the American people. ICE officers are herewith ordered to, by notice of this truth, to do all in their power to achieve the very important goal of delivering the single largest mass deportation program in history."
Trump's post reads like it was ghostwritten by a dictator with a flag fetish. On his own knockoff Twitter site, he declared ICE should launch the single largest mass deportation operation in history. Like he's pitching a reality show called Deportation Extreme Edition. He praised ICE like they were war heroes, claimed they're being attacked by Democrats, and then ordered them, yes, ordered them to make it happen, all in one breathless, unhinged rant. This isn't leadership, it's fear porn for his base, wrapped in fake patriotism and posted from his emotional panic room. But guess who chimed in next? Yep, the White House had something to say, and it's coming up now.
The White House's response, with Carolyn Levitt, stopped just short of telling Obama to keep his nose out of it in a comment to the Daily Beast. If the American people cared what Obama thought, they would have followed his advice and elected open borders radical Kamala Harris, spokesperson Abigail Jackson said in an emailed statement. But it's Donald Trump that's in the White House. Ugh. And he is fulfilling his promise to the American people by securing our borders and deporting illegal aliens.
The White House finally responded, and wow, they came in hot with the petty. Trump's team, clearly feeling the sting from Obama's truth bomb, decided to fire back. Spokesperson Abigail Jackson told the Daily Beast that if Americans cared what Obama thought, they would have elected open borders radical Kamala Harris. Okay, let's unpack that mess. First of all, yes, people do care what Obama thinks. He's still more popular than Trump at his absolute peak, and he doesn't need truth social tantrums to get attention. Second, this isn't just some political spat. It's about ICE dragging people out of their workplaces and neighborhoods, families torn apart, kids traumatized, and the best the Trump camp can do is scream open borders like it's a Halloween scare tactic. No one's buying it anymore. The mass deportation blitz Trump's pushing, it's backfiring. Huge. Just scroll social media. You'll see outrage pouring out of every corner, especially in LA. This is not the winning issue Trump thinks it is. And Democrats who went soft on this early, time to wake up, because while some are still trying to guess what's politically safe, others are standing firm. One of them, Congressman Greg Kasser, and what he just said about ICE might be the sharpest takedown yet.
Good afternoon, governors. Republicans have dragged you in today for questioning because they say your immigration policies are dangerous for American citizens. So I want to ask each of you some questions about recent events affecting U.S. citizens. Governor Pritzker, was it your administration or was it the Trump administration that arrested a 10-year-old U.S. citizen recovering from brain cancer and sent her to Mexico?
It was the Trump administration, sir.
Correct. That was the Trump administration. Governor Walz, was it your administration or was it the Trump administration that jailed an American for days, alleging he was in the country illegally, despite him being a U.S. citizen?
I believe that was the Trump administration.
That's correct. That was the Trump administration. Governor Hochul, was it your administration or was it the Trump administration that arrested a totally innocent U.S. citizen, pregnant woman who wound up in the hospital after her detention?
those horrific situations are all the results of the Trump administration's over-enforcement of our laws.
That was just this week, and that's correct.
That's
that
right.
was the Trump administration. Let me be clear. Democratic governors who are trying to protect the rights of all of us are not the real danger that we face. Donald Trump's reckless immigration policies are what is putting us at risk, U.S. citizens included.
That wasn't a hearing. That was a public execution of Trump's immigration record. Congressman Greg Casar came in locked and loaded, and by the end, you could practically hear the ghost of Stephen Miller crying in a corner. One by one, Casar laid out the receipts. Children with cancer deported, U.S. citizens wrongly jailed, pregnant women hospitalized, and every single one happened under Trump's watch. Not Biden, not Democratic governors, Trump. So the next time Republicans cry border crisis, maybe they should look in the mirror, because the real threat to American citizens was already in the Oval Office. And guess what? Casar's not done. He's got more truth bombs to drop, and the next one lands right now.
Trump and his puppets here in Congress put out a constant stream of lies about immigration. So let me summarize what is really going on here. Trump has ordered law enforcement agencies to focus not on violent criminals, but on indiscriminately rounding up as many people as possible. Trump is targeting people going to work at Home Depot and 7-Eleven, ignoring gangs. Trump is targeting people trying to follow the rules and go to a court hearing, ignoring those who commit real violence. And then there's the kids. Imagine just for a moment that they're your kids. Law enforcement raids at our schools. Kids with their hands zip-tied behind their backs. Multiple U.S. citizen children with cancer deported to foreign countries, separated from their treatment, their care, and their doctors. This is not just about immigrant families. Donald Trump is undermining the rights that protect all of us, no matter who we are and where we come from. People are being arrested without ever having been accused of a crime, held for days without contact with their families or their lawyers, people being deported in violation of judicial orders. Trump also is going after anyone who dares try to put up guardrails against this, arresting judges, arresting mayors, arresting members of Congress and union leaders. This is not law. This is not order. This is chaos, and it's dangerous for all of us.
Greg Casar just lit up the entire Trump immigration narrative, and every word of it, pure facts. While Trump rants about law and order, his actual policy was to ignore violent criminals and instead terrorize grocery store clerks, day laborers, and kids in school cafeterias. He's not going after threats. He's going after visibility, after headlines, after power. And Casar doesn't hold back. Zip-tied children, citizens deported mid-cancer treatment, people arrested without charges. It's a dystopian mess, not a policy. This isn't immigration enforcement. It's political theater, and it's ripping the Constitution to shreds. And trust me, Casar's final statement, it's a mic drop moment. Watch this.
Around the country right now, people are peacefully protesting to show the world the awful things the Trump administration is doing, tearing families and communities apart, ignoring the rule of law, making us all less safe. And please know, if you're one of those peaceful demonstrators, I hear you, I see you, I have your back. So many of you are suffering because someone you love is terrified or has been unjustly taken away from you by this administration. But Donald Trump does not want people to hear your message. That's why he's taken National Guard troops and the Marines away from their jobs and has sent them to Los Angeles, breaking all the rules about how protests like this are handled. Trump and Governor Abbott have even sent troops to my district in downtown San Antonio, a place that has been perfectly orderly and peaceful. Because, as always, we know Donald Trump is trying to stoke up chaos and division, and he doesn't care who gets hurt in the process. He wants to start a fire, pour gasoline on it, and blame somebody else for the flames.
Greg Kazar didn't just finish strong, he basically gave Trump's chaos machine a 1-star Yelp review with receipts. Peaceful protests, Trump sends the military. Quiet streets, suddenly full of troops. It's like he saw people holding signs and thought, you know what this needs? Tanks. And for what? So he can pretend he's the law and order guy while lighting the match, tossing the gas, and blaming everyone else for the fire. Kazar called it exactly what it is, a fear circus. And the ringmaster doesn't care who gets trampled as long as the cameras are rolling. But here's the real message. If you're standing up right now, protesting, posting, fighting back, you're not alone. You're right to be loud. And if this video hit home, like, subscribe and ring that bell, because we've got plenty more where this came from. And trust me, what's coming next? You'll want popcorn.